Hello, it's Tuesday night, so I'm going to do this again. Tuesday, probably for Wednesday, depending. I'm going to just try to just talk to you for a while. I'm actually having an evening cup. Will it disturb my sleep? Hardly matters right now, does it? Some update. I'm just going to roll and flow. Masking. This was one that was made for me by my friend Liz in Kansas City. I like that one a lot. This is one that was made for me by another woman, Michelle. Don't use this one too much, but it's another nice one. Interesting how the cool looking part is on the inside, but that's the protective layer. And then recently I got my friend Aaron Gum's band, Glow in the Dark. This one's kind of tight. There we go. So I definitely mask up when I go out, and I have reduced my going out again because I'm paying attention to the world news, not just America, but the world news. We have pockets where numbers are leveling off and going down, but we unfortunately have this other thing going, which is increasing numbers. Here in America, it's real bad. So, some kind of like reminders. Okay, so I'm still on Adult Swim. I forget to talk about that. I'm still a part of the show called Stupid Morning Bullshit, which streams every day on Adult Swim at 4 p.m. I'm on the Friday show with my segment called Old Music Friday. I just spoke with one of the producers regarding another Higgs Corner, and it's in production, is what I was told. It's like, well, yeah, we've been slowly editing it. Still don't have a schedule for it, but supposedly they're going to be showing another one, which I'm happy to say. I'll let you know when that's happening. But I'm still on Adult Swim every Friday, 4 o'clock. I'll show some records here. I played some music today. It's been an okay day. I had a good thing. Well, good things happen in general, but a good thing that happened today was that the dance troupe TBD, a dance collective, back when COVID hit, I had just written my first commissioned piece of music for them, which was going to premiere. It was a dance piece that I wrote, a 15-minute piece that they paid me for. It was going to be premiered when COVID hit, and then completely wiped off the map. But they are moving forward with other endeavors and just commissioned me for a new piece, paid work. And it's good for me. It's good pressure. I like to write music and make music. But when I'm given a specific goal, there's pressure, but it's a good pressure. So I plan to start work on that tomorrow. And it's a good thing to have something to focus on, I think that is a challenge for folks who aren't working or who are working from home, is to keep a routine. Just try to keep some kind of routine going. So I'm reading your posts, folks, and I'm appreciating you sharing your thoughts. Some of you people do see the posts that I delete. I still have to do. It's to me reality, but I still put it like this. It's mind blowing. Some of the things that people say to me. If you identify it, then you'll get more of it. Isn't that odd? You'll identify something you don't like, and then people will do it more. So I'm just staying quiet. Sure enough, it happens though. Peter Gabriel still sticking out back there. That's my Peter Gabriel session. So in regards to that new commission, they sent me in basic directions and instructions of what they're going for and what's going to be happening. And one of the pieces of music that they referred to, they said, we don't want you to sound like this, but this is what we've been working with in mind, and it's kind of what we have in mind. Mum, band from Iceland, goes back to the 90s, kind of a glitch electronic sound. Yesterday was dramatic, today is okay. This was a gift from the VC. I forget who sent it to me years ago. But it turned out that I had this album. They sent me a link to it to listen to. Turns out I had it, so I put this on this evening. And this is minimal, and honestly, it's something that I tire of quickly now. There was a time when it was a little more fascinating. This is kind of like, to me, Sigur Rós, a band that I have to be in the mood for. I'm rarely anymore in the mood to be that still, or that it's fitting something I'm involved with. But this was the reference point for this, one of the reference points for the work I'm going to be doing. So it's good to revisit that. In conjunction with I was on Facebook a lot today, and I'm not every day, but today I decided to post a bunch of records. So you folks that this is the cross reference, you'll see. Cunning Stunts by Caravan. This is one of their albums I just never play. Came out in 1978. It's actually better than I remembered. It's got a pop edge to it. Not edge, but a pop. It's like you can tell that they were the record company wanted them to make some money, But the band has such a beautiful sound. The opening track is wonderful. The Show of Our Lives, really nice. I haven't played that in ages. Here's something that I forget how I came across it. Either someone turned me on to it. Laurel Halo. This is electronic. Our Logic. This has been on repeat. What she's doing and the timbres and the textures and the way she's doing it. The title track on here is 9 minutes long, and when it's done, I hit repeat. I want to hear it again. I want to feel it. Laurel Halo. I looked her up, and there's not much about her, but man, she's good. This is a repeater. I usually play this 2 or 3 times in a row. The title track in particular. It was pointed out today that today would have been Richard Wright of Pink Floyd's birthday, 78 maybe, they said. So I haven't played this yet, but I pulled it to play because I like this and bought it when it came out. Wet Dream, 1978. The instrumentals are my favorites on here. Cat on the Keys. I've always, and it's agreed on by many fans that Richard Wright was the overlooked and underappreciated strength of Pink Floyd from the very beginning. Very important. 2 more records that I pulled because I was talking about them online, but I haven't played them yet. But it's like, this is in my collection. Interesting band. Wapassou. I believe they're French. Salammbô. Progressive, but something else. Really don't... The French school is very unique when it comes to progressive rock, particularly coming out of the 70s when it was all happening. I also have this album, there's Ludwig, which to my memory was not as interesting, but I need to pop these on, but I pulled them out because they were being discussed online. Okay, so I got into this today. Michael Mantler, trumpet player, composer, who came to my attention through his association with Carla Bley. And when this album came out, 1974, this is The Hapless Child and Other Inscrutable Stories. Music by Michael Mantler and words by Edward Gorey, the writer an illustrator of these kind of macabre little stories. Look at who's on here, and boy, is this. It really takes advantage of this personnel. This is incredibly good. My copy is beat because my older brother really liked this, and it was always a bone of contention with my older brother. He would just take my stuff, no regard for my rights whatsoever. And so he would just take this album, and I couldn't get it back from him. He would just come to the house and take it. And then I'd go over to his apartment and be laying on the floor out of the jacket and stuff. So that's the ringwear is because of him, mainly. Same with this one, because I was into Michael Mantler, turned him on, and he was into it too. No Answer with Jack Bruce and Don Cherry. A whole different affair than Hapless Child. I knew it would come up when I posted these, that there would be everybody's boosting a Hapless Child. Oh, this is the one. This is sublime, and it is. But because the leap to comparison negates the fruits of this project. This is a whole nother ball of wax. It is more somber in general, but this is really good. And Jack Bruce sings wonderful. Well, everybody, see, that's the thing about Michael Mantler. As a composer, to my ear, he knew how to play to the strengths of the people he worked with. That's why he works with these people, because they pull out of his compositions what's there to be had, and there's a lot. Words by Samuel Beckett. You folks that do a lot of reading, there you go. Playwright too, right? There's a playwright. And then Silence. I have more Michael Mantler, and then on CD. But this one is, I started with this one actually today, playing this one with Robert Wyatt and Kevin Coyne. Silence. Carla Bley, all these monster musicians, artists. If you don't know this work, I highly recommend it. It's not easy listening, though. Man, that coffee is good. Any damn time of the day. I'll take a break and show a few more records, but I got a call from my nephew, and he lets me know he watches. Hey, Kareem. I really appreciated the call today. It was just right on time. We just talked about how we're doing. I just appreciate my family so much. I appreciate my lineage. My family. I have a lot of love and pride in my family. We're a proud and distinguished people. We are, and yeah, I love my people. So glad that you, Karim, are doing well out there with the twins. And I haven't heard anything from Kalan in a while. And then I know the other kids, bless you. Love you so much. Yeah, this is real, y'all. It's like, for you folks that just pop in and just discover me, even though I receive records for years now from labels to review, and that's a service. That's not why I'm here. This is my blog. This is my life. I'm sitting at home. This is my music room. This is not a setup. This is a real room in my house. This is my life. So I talk about exactly what I'm feeling. And I get cranky. I sure do. So like I said earlier in the video, it's like sometimes people just come along and it's like they just seem like they just either want to test you or it's like they're just not listening. Probably a bit of both. Played one side of this today, the side long track of Heldon 6 Interference. This is a reissue. Love that cover. Let me take it out. Once again, I've shown this before, and I made the mention this is French, Richard Pinhas. Would not be surprised if Daft Punk, surely they know about this record and got the idea for their helmets, possibly from this or something else related. But this is some strong stuff. It is. It's on a cool green vinyl. Yeah, there you go. Kind of sparkly. or it's almost like it has a texture in it. Strong stuff. Really percussive and electronic and messy, actually. Really real time music. Okay, a few more records. I was playing that Bo Hansson. I got the other Bo Hansson, so I played this all the way through last night. Attic Thoughts? Yeah, I love Bo Hansson. And I'm still on the wanting Hansson and Carlson on vinyl. Love that artwork. It just really fits the music perfectly. And this music perfectly fits being on the Charisma label when it came out. Love this stuff. Watership Down, I have that. There's some more Bo Hansson that I have over there. I do. This is good stuff. It does take me away mentally from Omaha. And it really helps. It is escapist. I fucking love it. This was great because I hadn't played this in so long that it was like I heard it for the first time. And it was a record that I was after because of the cover. Originals of this are very pricey. So I remember finally getting this, and it's an interesting story. Tripsichord, West Coast band from the 70s. Look at that. And it's all textured like that's cloth with the embossed and the gold lettering. I saw this, I can almost call the name of the record store up in Minneapolis. But back in the day, through the 80s and 90s, probably early 2000s, I would regularly travel up to Minneapolis to play as well as to go to shows. And I'd record shop when I'd go up there. And this was in one of the stores that I would go to regularly. And when I first saw it, I really wanted it, but there was so much in the store that I wanted that I knew about. This one, I was just intrigued by the cover. I actually, at the time, had not heard Tripsichord. But luckily, I don't know if it was the next time, but the third next trip that I went to Minneapolis and went to that store, I don't think it was the second time I'd first seen it in the store. Third time it was still there, and I said, well, I have to get it. And that was back then when to me it was a big deal to spend $300 on records, and that's what I would do. I'd save up. And back then, that was a lot. I could get a lot, depending. This is really good, and I didn't remember the sound of this. It's a West Coast band, but they were managed by the same folks working with people like the Jefferson Airplane, but this is a little more proggy. It does get into the country West Coast a bit, but there's also another element where it's prog, and it doesn't even sound necessarily American. I was really happy. I hadn't played this in years. Tripsichord. Yeah. Originals of that are really expensive. I don't know if I've shown this, but this is something I added to my collection of Steve Hackett. This COVID period, The Night Siren. And I really like Steve Hackett, and I give him kudos. And there are his fans who say that he hasn't made a good album in years. I completely disagree with that. I think it's actually gone up. When he started singing his own stuff, like the album Cured, around that time, those albums to me were very weak. The instrumentals would save them for me as a fan. He's really grown as an artist since then, his singing and everything, but the way he does things and who he works with. I really like this. He also references his own work. He goes back to an old riff on one song on here. It's like, Then on the next song, he references, and at first I couldn't get it. What is that? A Neil Diamond song, Holly Holy. I think that's the song. But if you folks, anyone that has this album and kind of knows the music I'm talking about, yeah, he references Neil Diamond, and it's beautiful. It works wonderfully. I love this. And he does a classical piece on here where it's like, man, it kicks ass. Steve Hackett. Oh, thank goodness for music. It is a lifesaver. It is, as a focus. Thank goodness. I stopped reading that James Brown book. It was just depressing and, really making me angry, It's really well written. The guy that wrote the book suffered harassment himself because he was telling the true story, It's just so sad. And this is what we're up against now. It's like, I just got to let me go for a minute because we are in dank, deeply shitty times. And we all need to cope, express ourselves, and try to stay on an even keel. I wrote it online today, and this is ancient wisdom. The Tao Te Ching and almost all books of wisdom talk about this regarding leadership. You know what a real leader is? Or a person that is really qualified to lead? People who are true leaders don't put the focus on themselves. They're not going around puffing up and saying, look at what I've done. True leaders do the work and represent the folks that they're leading with that, and that is, to me, irrefutable wisdom. When you're dealing with groups of people and you're representing a group effort. I brought up ants. Well, ants have queen. They have a queen, so they have that biology. We don't have that, What we have is a lot of ego driving people's behavior who are interested in power. And they go under the pretense that they're going to do things, Maybe at one time they had intentions of doing something beneficial, but mostly it's the game has just been blown wide open for a long time. It's all about personal gain. It really is. And so you cannot, to me, or I say, you cannot bullshit an intelligent person in any way trying to say that the current administration, Trump and his cronies, are leaders, are real leaders. They're fucking con men, criminals out for self. Every time you turn around, all that Trump knows how to do is try to, and very phonily, boast and trump up his accomplishments. He's such a piece of shit, broken man. I have watched some interviews with Mary, his psychologist, PhD niece. She nails it on the head, and she gives the pathology, regarding the family history and abandonment because of mom's illness. So this is what we're up against. Just again, I'm just saying, it's like, don't even try to step to me with some madness. We don't have leadership. We have crazy people in power. And that guy Barr, every time you turn around the news, what these people do and say, it's an abomination. It's an abomination. So, thanks, family, for being here with me. Thank goodness for music. That's about it. Yeah, that's about it.